Charming Giraffe, and today we are going to embellish this painting with some embossing powder. So here's the painting. I do not remember it at all. So if you remember it, you're doing better than I have. It's really pretty. It's very metallic. There's a lot of metallic in there, so I think this will look really good on top of it. I've got a stencil here that's a unicorn. We're just going to do the unicorn piece, not these little sparkles here. This stamp is by Stensource International. Just got it at Hobby Lobby, it looks like. And then I put painter's tape on the stencil. This will just hold it in place while I put the ink on it. Just trying to decide where I want it. I think we'll do it right here. As I move it, right here. And that's just to keep the stencil in place. And using that tape won't damage the paint underneath it. It'll only be on there for just a second. And then the ink we're using is the clear embossing ink by Stampendous. It's a ink dauber. Be careful, this can pop out. Do like to try to test it somewhere else first. So here is a paper towel to the side. Just press a couple times, make sure it's working. I don't like how this is laying here. Give me just a second to fix it. It had an air bubble in there. All right, so we're just going to press the ink dauber over the stencil. All the little nooks and crannies here. This is slow drying ink, so you don't need, oh, we bent it. That's probably, we'll probably have to fix that. It'll be okay though. So you don't have to rush too fast. I don't know exactly the time frame on it by any means, but all right, we're gonna call that good. We can fix anything as we go. And I think I'm going to go ahead and pull the stencil off. Keep it to the side so I know what it's supposed to look like when we're done here. Then the embossing powder we're using is Raspberry Tinsel by Ranger. Here, I'll show that to you real quick. It's really sparkly. I really like this. Haven't used it before. This will be the first time, so. But I think it will look fabulous on this piece. Okay. And then we just want to kind of move it around a little bit, get it all covered. Oh, come on. All right. And then, ooh, I like it. And then I've just got a piece of paper here to catch it. Either that didn't get covered very well, or there's not a lot of ink there. There's not a lot of ink there. All right. Let's fix it. 1 second. So they make these pens that are also slow drying ink. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to first start with my paintbrush and brush away the extra. I'll have to do this again in a second because I'm going to apply more embossing powder, but this will give me an idea of what I need to do. So then right where that line is, I'm just going to follow it with my pen and fill it in. And then apply some more powder. And again, I'm catching all the powder, so this will all go right back into there, so I'm not wasting it. There we go. I like that a lot better. I want a different paintbrush. And this is just to dust away these extra pieces here without dusting away the parts that you want. Okay, now I feel like something else happened here, so let me get my stencil out. It looks like maybe right there that's supposed to go up a little bit. I actually don't mind it, but I'm just going to touch it up just a tad. And that's literally just removing any extra powder that got ink in the place that you didn't want ink. And then I think all of this is actually supposed to be filled in, and it's not. Let's just make sure that it wasn't my fault. Nope, it needs ink. So we'll take our pen again and just fill in any place that we want. And looky there. I think I am liking that. I think I may have accidentally hit some of those dots that I didn't mean to. Yeah. If you accidentally like touch it with your finger, it'll remove it. But it's slow drying ink, so you just have to reapply it and it'll stick again. So now this is a very important part, and I am not the most patient person, is to get rid of all of this extra. Now if you want it on your piece because you think it adds to it, leave it. But if you don't want it there, highly recommend to get rid of it before you heat it. Because you can attempt to not heat that portion and dust it away later, absolutely. But if you accidentally heat it, it will be on there. So if you don't want to risk it, get rid of as much of it as you can first. I am really happy with how this is going to look. They do make these, I don't remember what they're called, I'll leave it in the description. It's like anti-static, something like that. It's supposed to help. I've noticed that it doesn't seem to work as great on a canvas, and I think that's just because the canvas is textured, but maybe on other surfaces it'll work better. It didn't work, it wasn't terrible by any means. Also, when you get really close to the piece, you don't want to accidentally do what I just did. You don't want to accidentally hit it, because then you've got to reapply and start the process over. Alright. Luckily this isn't a terrible intricate one. I have definitely done more intricate pieces that required a lot more details. So next we heat it with the heat gun. This will be a little, actually no we don't, we do, but before we do that we're gonna put all this up because we don't want this accidentally blowing around and getting all over the place. If you see anything in here that you don't want in your jar, go ahead and get rid of it before you do that, just so you don't compromise this. Okay. Ta-da. There we go. All right. So now we can use that for another time. And this will last forever. Not literally, but pretty much. Alright, and then we heat the heat gun up, and I definitely recommend taking your time, especially if your heat gun is not as powerful, because mine does take a little bit of time to heat up, because it'll make this process go faster and it's less likely to damage your canvas, because I have had it where my paint underneath kind of started to burn because the heat was on it too long. So heat the heat gun up first. So we'll do that next. I will mute you for this part because it's kind of loud. All right, so we've got it all melted there, or set with the heat gun. I think it definitely dulled a little bit. It's kind of like the color of my fingernail versus the color that's in the jar, but I still think it looks good. I kind of wish it was still this brighter pink color here, but now we know. Hadn't used it before, so I'll know it for the future. So let me know what you think about this technique and this piece with this stencil on it in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and do what makes you happy.